Welcome back. You're still watching the Afia Morning Show, reaching you live from Enugu. Now, like we said right before the break, we're joined by executive producer 318 Hectares, Nnamdi Obanya, as we look at developments with highly anticipated Afia TV documentary 318 Hectares. Now, just a bit of context. The Enugu State High Court has adjourned the hearing on an injunction filed by Private Estates West Africa Limited, PEIWA, to stop Afia TV's airing of the documentary 318 Hectares. There have been a lot of legal and corporate communication from PEIWA to Afia, who, after the first communication on August 31st, they're about to suspended premiering and airing. Recently, PEIWA filed for an injunction, but Afia filed a counterclaim yesterday or 2 days ago. Justice Ogwabo of the Enugu State High Court adjourned the hearing to November 17th. Nnamdi is here with us to tell us how this all got to this point and what it means for the future of 318 Hectares. Nnamdi, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to be here. After a lot of questioning, we're just going to wait till November and see what happens. But I had to come to clear some things up. One is that there have been some reports that have been a bit unsavory, even to the point that some people think perhaps we collected money so as not to bring out the documentary again. Some said, oh, they've taken money, they've been bribed, or they've been intimidated. Why is it not out? I mean, after a viral trailer, and then the next day we put out a letter that says, we're sorry, we're suspending for the meantime. Just to give an update, now that we have started a legal process, there's a limit to what I can actually say, because unlike in the earlier days, now there could be claims of sub judice. Of course, those would not hold water, but there could be claims that we are trying to compromise the case by using public opinion. No, the being here is actually to clear the air that we did not collect money from anybody to kill the documentary, because that's what some people are saying. Oh, these actually people have taken money to kill it. But, so I mean, one of the parties involved in the documentary, Private Estates West Africa, were in court with them. I can say that because that's not a secret. It's a court case. It's not a case. We just had a hearing, and they said they did not have enough time to study our counter arguments and counter affidavits, saying that, it didn't come on time. So the judge granted them, an adjournment till November this year for the hearing. So there is no injunction yet, but because they are in the process of trying to get one, it might not be, since an action has started, we might not be allowed to air it because the action has started. Initially they had just sent letters of their lawyer, and as an act of good faith, Afia suspended while we saw what the contents, because if you remember, a lot of documents that came very voluminous. So we were studying them and looking at them to see what they sent us before we edit, if there was any legal implication. In the process, there have been documents, and all of a sudden, writ of summons appear in courts for a hearing for an injunction against you airing it. So that came, we're in court, and that's why. So now we're in court, and it's been adjourned till November. That's when the actual hearing will take place to see if they will get the injunction or if our lawyers can quash the request. So it's just let people know we did not collect money from anybody to kill the documentary.
Great for that emphasis. Now, away from getting into the proceedings of the courtroom, because we understand we are a law-abiding station and we do not want to get into that situation or what had transpired within the courtroom, who said what to whom, with what effect. We don't want to do that. But let's step away from there to, shall we say, our own comfort zone, the media. What does this legal situation say about freedom of expression, freedom of the press, freedom for the media to go about with their lawful duties on a daily basis?
So, again, so that I'm not making the arguments in courts here, but let me just be as vague as possible. In the US right now, Donald Trump has sued and won a lot of media houses. Recently, he even won a newspaper about printing what he called a fake letter to Jeffrey Epstein, told them, look, this thing is fake. I didn't do it. If you did, I'm going to sue you. They publish it, he's suing them. So you see, that's what the law is. You can sue somebody for... He didn't take any legal action against them. He just told them that thing is fake. So he didn't take any legal action until they published it. So there are defamation laws if the media steps out of bounds, and if the media defames you, there are laws guiding that. You can get legal redress. Doing things that, will I say, gag the media is now where the problem is. Are you disturbing the media from freely speaking? You know, because if it comes to a situation where injunctions can be taken before somebody speaks, based on what you think will be in it, then there's a problem. You know, it's not like there has been any viewing of the documentary. Yeah, so I don't want to go into deep because legal proceedings have started.
That's right.
But I will say that one, the media has editorial license. Two, the media is allowed to publish anything, use any source, as long as it is truthful. And three, if you feel the media was not being truthful, or if you feel they added improvable bad faith, for example, they were paid by somebody to tarnish or defame you, there are legal procedures to handle defamation. So we are waiting to see what the judge will say. I won't go too deep into our own arguments because we've not yet had the hearing.
That's right.
It's been adjourned, so I won't say much about our own case.
Well, overall, seeing as this is panning out, is this being fair or somewhat, holding down the media from doing their job?
So there are two things. One is just as the media wants to do its job, they too want to do their own job. And most professional and service industry jobs, when you are doing a service or a professional service, your main commodity, whether you're real estate, accounting, lawyer, doctor, your commodity you're selling is your reputation. So just as we're trying to do our job, they are trying to do their own. And if reputation is their commodity, they're protecting their own reputation. So that's where, when we talk of fairness, we can talk of fairness inside our own separate boxes. They can say what Afia is doing is not fair. We can say what they are doing is not fair. But at the end of the day, everybody is trying to protect their business. Ours is to provide truthful, balanced coverage, and theirs is their reputation as a service provider that people can trust. So on both ends, everybody is taking care of their own.
That's right. And it's great that we balance it out on that note, but we're already running out of time at this point. But it's great that we end on that note. Well-balanced discussion. And we'll continue to see how this goes. Perhaps we'll reconvene after the court proceedings to continue this conversation. Thank you for making our time to be here,
Thank
Nnamdi.
you.